lo mismo, güey.
Well, Haaland will play through the middle, that's for sure. Grealish on that left-hand side. It's been interesting to see how they play in midfield. Peroni came on and scored in the last game. O'Reilly made a lot of forward runs, but it looks like being a back three with Lewis playing on the right-hand side of Doyle and Simpson-Huzi.
4 changes from the team that lost 4-3 to Celtic on Tuesday. Making way are Ortega and Betty, Wilson Esperand and Calvin Phillips, who are all on the bench. The officials are among there, and there they are. Sergi Boyko will take charge, supported on either's flank by Corey Richardson and Thomas Felice, with Christian Centeno as the 4th official. Really good crowd inside Yankee Stadium for this eagerly awaited fixture. Let's take a look at the AC Milan side. 6 changes following their 1-1 draw in Austria at Rapid Vienna on Saturday. We'll never know if Marco Sportiello was meant to keep goal again, but he hurt his left hand at the hotel this morning. So Lorenzo Torriani, who's part of the Milan Futuro squad, who will be competing in Serie C this season, is between the sticks. Those who also played in Austria and start once more: Davide Calabria, Matteo Gabbia, Filippo Terracciano, Samu Chukwueze and Lorenzo Colombo in attack. Pretty similar front three to what we've seen from Milan. But once again, Robbo, there's places up for grabs in new coach Paulo Fonseca's starting lineup to begin the season in Serie A.
Absolutely, but this man here will be looking at this Man City side, and can the youngsters show him again that they have got the quality to come into the first team squad at any time? He'll be looking for Jack Grealish to orchestrate most of the attacking play down that left-hand side. Bob with his pace, but a much better second half against Celtic than he did on the first period. There's the new man you were talking about, and he's got some good attacking qualities in his front three. Salamanca's, who had a spell out on loan, was run with the ball. Chukwueze needs to improve from what we saw last season, but he's a good coach, no doubt about that.
Leading the line, Lorenzo Colombo, the 22-year-old striker promoted from the Primavera team. Spent last season on loan at Monza. This guy might have a future. Erling Haaland, who started against Celtic, scored against Celtic in midweek, starts once again. It's Grealish, it's Haaland, and it's Bob as the front three, as it was during the week. And we are underway. The whistle of referee Sergi Boyko. Manchester City taking on AC Milan. Mark Donaldson alongside Stuart Robson. Expecting City to maybe be a little bit sharper, given that they had the game on Tuesday and Milan had that run out in Austria, but it wasn't until last Saturday when they played.
Well, There's one or two changes, as you said. Be interested to see the formation that Manchester City are going to play. Already you can see the number 76. So he's going to play on the right-hand side of the back line.
This is a stadium which, of course, is home to the New York Yankees, but it's a stadium that these two sides know pretty well. Last time at Yankee Stadium for Manchester City was end of July 2014 against Liverpool. Game here tomorrow as well, NYCFC taking on Querétaro in the League's Cup. This is Filippo Terracciano. Quick feet of Salamaker's talented Belgian. Comes in predominantly from the left, but is always on the move. Channels throw. This is Colombo. Well one back. Oscar ball. A lot more Manchester City shirts, but plenty Milan jerseys in the crowd as well. Certainly outnumbered. The supporters cheering for the team from England's northwest. Skabon. Challenge comes in from Alessandro Florenzi. This is Davide Calabria, the skipper. Benacer.
It's good to see Benacer back in the Milan side. He's an outstanding player. He's had a poor run of injuries, but when he's at his best, he really does dominate that midfield area. There he is, the number 4, Benacer.
Another run out for Jamai Simpson-Fusay, who started alongside Luka Mbete in central defence on Tuesday night. 18 subs available to Pep Guardiola.
With Sissoko playing as the right-sided centre-back, it does mean that Rico Lewis has gone into central midfield alongside O'Reilly in there.
City's first game of the season is at Chelsea, beaten pretty comfortably by Celtic earlier today. It's on the Sunday, the day before. Milan take on Torino at San Siro to begin their Serie A campaign. It's Fikayo tomorrow. Taking a chance here to Mori.
It's not going to be easy to play on the area that has been returfed here, and that was right on the edge of it. Mori took a chance, didn't do it particularly well, did he? He's had an outstanding couple of seasons for Milan. Today he's playing alongside Gabbia, who didn't play so much last year, but has been a good player when he's come into the side for Milan.
Sissoko quickly forward. Oscar ball. No real protestations for the foul. The referee not interested. Here's Salamakers. Interesting to see if Milan can exploit, especially down this right flank of Manchester City, with Sissoko playing as the kind of hybrid right centre-back, right back.
Well, when they are defending now, you can see that Rico Lewis has gone back to left back, just out of your picture. Soho is playing as a right back, out of possession. Changes when they do win the ball back.
Milan head for Chicago to face Real Madrid on Wednesday at Soldier Field. Manchester City heading down the hot and humid conditions of Orlando, Florida to face Barcelona on Tuesday. played again. Midfield by Benacer. Nice from Torriani. Good pressing from Nico O'Reilly. It's Milan's ball.
Colombo, centre forward. At some point needs to make runs in behind Man City. We saw they struggled at times. The ball's played in behind them against Celtic. He is the main centre forward. We've got two wide players. Chukwueze, who we saw play for Villarreal so successfully in La Liga.
Excellent. James McAtee. The diving channel, you've got to make sure you get it right. That's exactly what he did. It's a beautiful night. It's low humidity, 86 degrees. A nice switch to Jack Grealish, but well read by Davide Calabria.
There's the foul. Doyle, the player that makes it. Little nutmeg. That's what you can see from Chukwueze. He's a clever player. He's got plenty of pace. Left-footed player playing out on the right-hand side. Doyle is mainly a centre-back, but had to get out there on that left-hand side on that occasion.
Thou shalt not pass. Like Stuart Robson, Callum Doyle, former Coventry City player, on loan there a couple of years ago. Centre-back.
I'm right, this only had a very famous uncle. That's a good run, Loftus-Cheek.
Super run, big opportunity here. Salamaker's at the back post, he might go himself. Good block. And then at the second attempt, Ederson to the rescue.
Well, that's what I was talking about. Not so much Loftus-Cheek making runs in behind, but Milan making runs in behind a very static back four, very high line. It's a good run, good ball played in. Now he's looking to find a cutback. Was there one on? Not really. He probably should have gone for goal in the end. He was never going to get it across to Salamakers. There was many Man City players in the way. But Loftus-Cheek is an outstanding player.
That replay gave us a really good view of one Man City defender pushing forward, one pulling back, one standing still, and one not really sure what they were doing. So the line was a bit skewed and allowed Loftus-Cheek to get in behind, but a super save from Ederson. And it was no surprise yesterday, Stuart, at the Pep Guardiola press conference, where he was very effusive in his praise for Ederson, who of course has been linked to the move to Saudi Arabia. Here's Colombo. Salamakers. Big opportunity. Cutback wasn't what was required from Terracciano. In by Salamakers behind for a goal kick. But Milan are utilising the width pretty well.
Well, they found a bit of space in midfield. The back four on that occasion were a little bit deeper. The midfield players were fairly high. There was a lot of space for Milan to pick the ball up. Be quite pleased with those last two attacks.
Plenty to ponder for Paulo Fonseca, ahead of a new challenge for him, having been at Lille. He'll play early for Haaland, well dealt with by Matteo Gabbia. You can tell any time the ball is, even in Haaland's vicinity, doesn't even have to touch the ball.
Great pass, or almost a great pass from Ederson. That's what he can do so well. That's why he's so important to Man City.
It's a couple of times that Calabria has tried that ball in behind, with City using that high line. Haaland is fouled.
There's a good battle on that far side of the field.
There sure is.
That's Benacer, who is a tigerish tackler, very aggressive player. I was talking about Calabria and Grealish. That's a really big battle.
A lot of good individual battles in this one. Just the 14 starts in Serie A last season for the Milan youth product, Matteo Gabbia.
Salamaca's somebody that can really run with the ball. Milan for quite some while now. On certain occasions has been a regular. Quite often a very good substitute.
Well, the appeal, but then the follow-up is saved by Ederson. Down went Lorenzo Colombo. Referee not interested. And Calabria getting forward from right back.
Well, Doyle was struggling here. Again, they're playing quite a high line. It's a lovely ball played down the side. It's the fullback, Calabria, that tries to bend it with his left foot.
We have a special guest this evening at Yankees Stadium. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is here. We thought for a spell that there would be no handshake with him and Pep Guardiola, but there was.
I like the way you say Ibrahimovic. You say it with a very Scottish twang, I have to say.
Pep going for the casual look this evening, the white t-shirt. After he left Barcelona, spent a fair bit of time in Manhattan, one of his favourite places, although he's not happy at the price of things in this city these days, Stuart. This is very expensive. Still one of the best cities in the world.
I would say a little bit like your hotel room. I was in the YMCA, you were in some plush hotel right in the middle of Manhattan. Not happy with that pass. Pep Guardiola.
Pittsburgh last night for the two of us. That's actually where these two last met. Heinz Field back in 2014. Man City winning by 5-1. Nice tip. A touch by Salamakers for Lorenzo Colombo. Looking for support, gets it from Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And a nice switch as well to Samuel Chukwueze. And support from Calabria, also from Benacer. Well dealt with enough by Mohamedou Sissoko.
Just expected a little bit more there from Chukwueze when he got the ball out on that right-hand side. Wanted to get it on his left foot, but he had to come all the way back. And Benacer's cross into the box wasn't a good one.
You and I were talking before we came on air about the man that's just played that pass, Alessandro Florenzi, in which position he'll occupy tonight, because he's a defensive midfielder. He can play as a right back. We've seen him drifting already onto this left-hand side.
Well, he's playing next to Benacer. There he is on the ball. Central midfield player. He's allowing Loftus-Cheek to make those forward runs, which he does so well.
Murray for Salamakers. We'll keep trying that if it's on.
Yeah, on that occasion, Ederson read it, and so did Rico Lewis. Here's that good build-up earlier on. Lovely little ball played into Salamakers round the corner. Colombo's dropping quite deep at times. Loftus-Cheek making the forward runs, and the next pass wasn't quite good enough for Chukwueze to run at the defender.
Oscar Bob looking for options to try and take the quick throw. Instead leaves it for his teammate Mohamedou Sissoko. Came on at half-time for Calvin Phillips Tuesday night against Celtic in a defensive midfield role. Right back this evening. Centre back when City have the ball.
There's the battle I was talking about. Calabria might be frightened to get in very tight to Jack Grealish. A lot of Calabria over the years into the team as a 17-year-old.
It's a great switch. Reflection just taking the pace off the ball there. Who's Salamakers? Tried to buy the foul. There was contact. Gets the foul. A couple of Americans on the bench for Milan tonight. Yunus Musa, and someone who only joined up with the squad a day or two ago, Christian Pulisic. We may see him, we may not. He is likely to be involved when Milan go to Soldier Field on Wednesday to face Real Madrid.
It's interesting to see how deep Colombo is coming to get the ball at times. Quite sure how effective that is going to be.
Benacer, run by Calabria, trying to split Rico Lewis and Callum Doyle. Last season, Milan finishing second in Serie A, but the big problem was it was their rivals, Internazionale, who won the title by 19 points. Milan finishing 4 points clear of Juventus. Heavy touch there by Alessandro Florenzi. This is Nico O'Reilly with a nice piece of skill. This could be a chance here. Haaland's in the middle. By Salamakers. And here come Milan again. This little touch there. Loftus-Cheek. Chukwueze had made the run. Salamakers to his left. Still alive. And just wide of Ederson's post. That was a good, quick move from Milan, but it remains goalless.
Well, they're struggling to cope with the runs of Loftus-Cheek. He's a powerful runner with the ball. Does well to realise that Salamakers is outside of him. Salamakers actually plays it with the outside of his right, but not really picking anybody out. Man City don't defend it well. Although he mishits it, it very nearly goes in from Chukwueze. Milan look far more dangerous than Man City at the moment. There is the strike. You can see it's a miss hit in the end.
Lovely from James McAtee. He's a player who, in Pep Guardiola's press conference on Monday, was heavily praised. Pep saying he's got high hopes. It's always difficult for managers to choose one or two. No foul on Oscar Ball. Erling Haaland! 1-0 City. Milan saying there should have been a foul by Oscar Ball. Referee not interested. And Erling Haaland has opened his account this evening. City leads at Yankee Stadium. And it's that man with the opening goal.
Well, how many times have we said it? He's hardly touched the ball in the game so far. 18 minutes gone. But very similar to the goal that Man City scored the other day, with Oscar Bob getting to the byline and cutting it back, that time for Peroni. This time, this is where they wanted a free kick, just there. Oscar Bob does well, goes past his man. Great cutback. And you expect Erling Haaland to score from there. On his left foot, goalkeeper can't get across. Lovely finish. All made by Oscar Bob.
Made in Norway, finished in Norway. Oscar Bob, Erling Haaland, 1-0 City. You could argue that Milan has been the better team so far, but that man, Erling Haaland, gets a sniff in front of goal. He doesn't usually miss. Certainly tests the goalkeeper at least. Refreshed Erling Haaland ahead of the new season. 27 goals in the Premier League last year, 36 the year before. With a refreshed Erling Haaland, do you think he'd be more like the 36 in his first season, or closer to the 27 that he got last season when he takes the field in the Premier League this campaign?
All depends on how Manchester City play. You know, he's a player that I think needs to be involved in the game a lot more. I've said it many, many times. You can't just be a goal scorer. And it's not all his fault. At times, Man City don't look to play it into him. They don't look to play balls over the top for him when it's on. Nasty whack for Loftus-Cheek here. That has had his injury problems over the years. Spent a lot of time at Chelsea, going out on loan, never really making it at Chelsea. He made the slide challenge.
maybe just getting caught with the follow through, but it was really good skill from Nico O'Reilly. We've seen some good stuff from him so far. James McAtee. These youngsters, plenty ability, and they're not frightened to show it. Another look at the goal, Stuart. Was this a foul?
Well, we can't quite see whether there's any contact there, but one thing that AC Milan have to do is not stop, which they did. And Tomori was beaten far too easily by Bob, by a bit of change of direction, a change of pace, and a fairly comfortable finish for that man there.
Initially, it looked like it might have been Oscar Bob with the challenge. It was James McAtee on Filippo Terracciano. The referee didn't award it. Assistant on this near side, Corey Richardson, was closest, wasn't interested. City played on, and Oscar Bob was able to find Erling Haaland for the opening goal. 2-2 for the Norwegian. Scored against Celtic in midweek. Manchester City lost 4-3 despite coming back from 3-1 down to tie it. Benacer. High and good pressing from Manchester City here. Back by Loftus-Cheek, who looks as though he's okay. He's recovered from that little knock. Here's Tomori.
One of the reasons that Tomori didn't get a look in for England is because, although he's a very good defender, he's quick. He's not quite so good on the ball as many of the other English centre-halves. That's why I don't think Gareth Southgate trusted him to get into the England squad on a regular basis. He's certainly had a very good spell at Milan since he went there.
The choice was Mark Gahey in that position, and Ezri Konsa when Gahey was suspended. Tomori, left-footed, predominantly centre-back. There's that ball in behind again. The offside flag is up. Ederson, one of the better sweeper keepers. In case that ball had gone over the top and the flag had stayed down. Manchester City leading AC Milan by 1-0. We're a quarter of the way through. Yankee Stadium on a beautiful Saturday evening. Mark Donaldson and Stuart Robson. The call for this one. Foul by Sissoko. Milan were in the States last year. Lost 3-2 to Real Madrid in the Rose Bowl in LA. Drew 2-2 with Juventus. Carson at LA Galaxy Stadium. Lost 1-0 to Barcelona at the Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. For City, it's their 5th time in 10 years they've been over in the States, which they love coming to. Two interested spectators behind the goal at that slightly astray pass towards goalkeeper Lorenzo Torriani. Obviously the area between home plate, first, second and third base, turfed with grass, but it's rolling pretty flat.
So that's when they play out from the back poorly, when there's no real room to play. Man City are pushing on. Really, that has to go that little bit longer. They've just got themselves in trouble here, Milan. They're being fortunate.
Nice flick by Loftus-Cheek. Calabria. Chukwueze. Utilising the width. He's unlucky. That was a brilliant attempt. Just too much for Salamakers.
I'm not sure that Salamakers read the ball. He thought it was going to slow up off the turf, and it actually just skidded on. But he can be such an outstanding player, Chukwueze. Didn't really show that last year for Milan. Saw a lot of him for Villarreal. Scored a great goal against Real Madrid. One of his last games for Villarreal.
Yeah, he did. And then when he went to Milan last season, he was kind of, played 24 times, but half of them were sub-appearances. He was unable to get that consistency. Must be tough being a winger, being able to do that on a weekly basis. But you have to do it to keep your spot. Again, James McAtee doing well and getting involved. Both Pep Guardiola and Paulo Fonseca, like Times Square traffic cops, shouting and bawling and making sure voice can be heard.
Something I experienced when I took a lift with you. Quite an angry driver, I have to say.
Wow. Been nothing but kind to you over the last couple of days, and this is the way you repay me. Just wait till you get to Philadelphia in midweek. Did not have enough pace to go all the way through, but it was mopped up pretty comfortably, and Toriani sends it back. There's 2 or 3 young Milan goalkeepers that will be competing for the first choice jersey for the Serie C side. Milan Futuro. Here's Oscar Ball. Great footwork. He could have laid it off. Haaland! He does find the back of the net, but it's the netting behind the goal. And it's a goal.
Good play initially. Susoho winning the ball back just there. Oscar Bob, he goes past people so easily. Look at that, goes in between the 2 challenges, picks out the right pass eventually. Haaland comes off his mark on his weaker right foot. Good effort. This is the player that is lightening up this game at times. Just a fraction too high from Haaland.
I think I saw a shirt from Ted Lasso behind the goal there. There's Salamakers. You show up at Yankee Stadium, a ballpark, to see Manchester City play AC Milan, and you end up finding an AFC Richmond jersey behind the goal. Fantastic.
What a turnout we've got today. Time to fill up, but it's a really good crowd inside this stadium.
Super. 2 heavyweights of European football. One more current than the other, whose success was more 90s, 2000s. Milan winning Serie A Scudetto 2022. That was their first win in 11 years. City lead by a goal to 0. 28 gone. Pre-season friendly at Yankee Stadium. Milan played some good stuff. Here's Loftus-Cheek. Just not been able to find a way past Ederson. Benacer. Switches on again. Susoho is tucked in quite a lot today, so there has been a lot of space for Salamakers. This is Florenzi. And Benacer. The talent across this Milan midfield, middle to front. Chukwueze, again, Calabria has gone beyond them. Better shape from City. This is the skipper, Davide Calabria. Cutback is on, Salamakers. Can't clear the lines here, Manchester City. Chukwueze. Big chance! And there's the equalising goal for Lorenzo Colombo. Ederson doing his best to keep it out. But it's tied at 1 apiece at Yankee Stadium.
Well, you always talk about Chukwueze. Is there an end product? On this occasion, there is. Good pressure from Milan. They keep winning the ball back on the edge of the box. He could go back, but he decides just to lift the ball in the box. Good run from Colombo in between full-back and centre-half. Ederson does everything he can to try and get back and make the save. But it was a good cross, good run. Eventually, it beats Ederson. He makes a good effort to keep it out. But I think Milan are deserving of that equaliser. They've made 1 or 2 good chances and they've played some good football, but excellent cross from him.
It was brilliant play from Chukwueze. And he finds the back of the net. Lorenzo Colombo. He's 22 now and he's desperately trying to make an impression. On loan at Monza last year. There were high hopes for him as a teenager. He got his first Milan goal in the Europa League qualifiers against Bodo Glimt back in 2020, but he's just looking for more opportunities. That's the way to take them when you get them. 1-1. Probably a fair reflection of what we've seen so far in the score.
It was interesting, and amongst all that move, that Rico Lewis had gone back into a centre-half position and Doyle found himself out at left-back. That's happened on 2 or 3 occasions. As you can see, it's a back 3 at the moment. Doyle out on the left-hand side. Simpson, Huse is the middle one. Rico Lewis goes into midfield. Then when they lose the ball, Rico Lewis has to get back into a defensive position, whether that's at left back or whether it's at centre half. On that occasion, he was in at centre half.
This is a defence that hasn't played that much together. The defenders, certainly. Simpson, Fuse, Doyle, Sissoko. Mainly a defensive midfielder. Been a good watch so far. Just over half an hour gone. Slip of the ankle there from Florenzi.
You look at the 2 wide players for...
Can they go back ahead again here? It's onside! It's happened!
There's the advantage. There was a foul there. Bob again making the run. Got 1-2. He was onside. Probably if Haaland had got there, he'd have been offside. Just have a look here. No, he was okay. Should score. Big chance.
Should he have just tapped it to Haaland for the tap-in?
No. I don't think from that sort of distance he's got to go himself. You can't
100%.
to shoot, and he didn't get the shot right.
That's the problem. It's the wrong side of the post. Should be 2-1 City. Now Milan hoping that they can go 2-1 ahead with Chukwueze. Good tempo. Good skills in this one. There's the ball again, and it is 2-1. Repeats.
Well, his first goal, he gets in between the fullback and the centre half. This time, he stays out the back. And there was a 2-vish Chukwueze who does well. He's working really well with Calabria out on that far side. Sees too narrow, the centre halves don't pick anybody up. Loftus-Cheek is pulling the fullback in. It's a good volley. Look at the 2v1 at the far post here. And a very good volley. Good technique. And it's an excellent game, no doubt about that.
You and I spoke inside the first minute, Stuart, about the space that Milan might get on this left-hand side for them in behind City's right-back area. And it's happened once again. And Milan now lead by 2 goals to 1. Chukwueze with his second assist of the night. Colombo with his second goal of the night. And literally, 60 seconds after it should have been 2-1 to City at the other end?
Yeah, there's been some naive defending by a very young back four, it has to be said, for Man City. You know, the body positions aren't quite right. The fullback should have been pulling the centre half slightly deeper, and then he could have gone that little bit deeper. Had better shape to their back four, but they were too narrow, too compact. And Colombo knew where the space was out the back, and what a good finish.
Yeah, last week when Milan went to Austria and drew with Rapid Vienna, at half-time it was kind of all changed from Paulo Fonseca, so you wondered about the fitness with City playing on Tuesday night, but Milan have been excellent in the opening 35 minutes.
Well, what Chukwueze would quite like is that nobody's quite sure who's going to go out to him, because the way Man City are playing with a back three with, at times, Rico Lewis in central midfield. Doyle is a centre-half, he doesn't really want to go out there. This is a much better, you can't see it, it's out of your picture at the moment, but Rico Lewis is actually marking Chukwueze at the moment.
Callum Doyle was on loan at Leicester City last year under Enzo Maresca, who's now at Chelsea. He has played at left back. Here's Haaland. Just like that, Milan in no danger, and then suddenly, boom, Haaland gets the ball, and goalkeeper Lorenzo Torriani's called into action. They do have a man down, so play is being stopped.
Well, it's a bit of play by Milan. Florenzi is the player that got hurt, but it's their poor mistake that gave it to Erling Haaland. Actually, it wasn't Florenzi that made the poor pass. Good save by Torriani.
It's Colombo,
who's come deep on several occasions. Not quite sure what he's doing back there. Frustrated with himself that he didn't score, Haaland.
Yeah, you don't want to see this you don't want to see it ever, but in pre-season last night, Curtis Jones of Liverpool, then Conor Bradley in the second half.
No, I think this is totally different. I think both Conor Bradley and Curtis Jones, they were twisted with the ankle maybe.
Yeah, they were precautionary. This
one doesn't look good. They're talking for a stretcher already, or going to make the change.
This is a big concern.
The way he's on the ground and the other players are getting round him, this isn't good. Isn't good at all.
Sandro Florenzi got the opening goal in Austria last Saturday. Take you back to 2013. 11 years ago, he was the MVP in the MLS All-Star game. Still going strong at 33. The problem is, though, that he will play no further part in this game. We hope it's not as serious as it looks. The change will be made. Looks like Tommaso Pobega will come on.
I just don't like the look of that. The way the other players put their hands in, their head in their hands. The stretchers come.
So with play stopped here, let's reflect on what we've seen in the opening 38 minutes. Thoroughly enjoyed it so far, Stuart.
Been a very good game. On a slightly difficult pitch, a narrow pitch. Slightly bobbly as well, a bit slow at times. But we've seen some very good football. Seen some good individual performances. Loftus-Cheek has found that bit of space to run with the ball. Chukwueze has shown what he can do for Milan. Oscar Bob likewise for Man City. With a fairly comfortable finish. He's had a couple of other half chances which hasn't quite taken. But this is a worrying moment.
This is how it happened.
So he's stretching here, or I think his knee went. I don't know that we want to see it too many times because it's not going to be pleasant. His knee just caught underneath him there as he went to ground.
Well, that's a good sign. He's not going to play any further part in this game, but the fact that he wants to get up and he wants to hobble off with the ice pack on the knee, the swelling down. Here's the change. Tommaso Pobega. It's a blow. 27th of July. Today, Milan's first game of the season, 17th of August. Just got to hope that's not a long-term injury, Stuart.
Well, I'm worried it might be, but let's hope it's not. Look at it's not so much the pain, it's the realisation that this could be a bad injury for him. He worked hard all pre-season, or up to this point. It's just so frustrating for a player.
Underway, the final touch. judged to have come off Lorenzo Colombo. It's a big applause from both Manchester City and AC Milan supporters. Salamaker's turning into trouble. Here's Oscar Bob. Very impressed so far by James McAtee. Guardiola really has some quality talent coming through the ranks. Community Shield for City, 10th of August against Manchester United at Wembley before they open their Premier League campaign at Chelsea. Sunday the 18th.
The scene have kept Erik ten Hag in a job. Man City never really got going. That complacency. One or two players look jaded. Gabia with the foul.
Thankfully, the conditions tonight far better than they were the last time City played in the United States. The 23rd of July, 2022 at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Start of the game was delayed because of lightning, and there was a second delay in the first half as well. The game only lasted 18 minutes. Salamakers.
Another game I was at.
It's you. Beautiful night tonight. Jaquazi, 2 assists.
The run through the middle. Oh, Pabega was in.
We've seen tonight, though, is Salamaker's really close to this left touch line. Jaquazi really close to the right touch line. It's allowing, whether it's Benacer or Loftus-Cheek or whoever, to try and get forward and make that run in between the centre-backs of Man City.
And that's one thing that young players need to learn. 2 young centre-backs from Man City. About reading danger, about seeing midfield runners come. If your centre-forward goes deep, you've got to be aware that somebody else is going to make the run into the space that he's left, and they haven't done that particularly well, the 2 centre-backs.
Paulo Fonseca will be happy at half-time. The only blemish, the injury to Alessandro Florenzi.
See, that's a poor pass into Benacer. The goalkeeper has to go longer, it's too tight.
First corner of the game, 44th minute. James McAtee, Erling Haaland. The flag stayed down. Yeah, it would have gone up as a thumb up from the assistant, Corey Richardson, to referee Sergi Boyko, to indicate if that had have ended up with the Manchester City player that the flag would have gone up. Tomori.
Look at the press. Man City have got 6 players in the top 30 yards of the pitch on that occasion. It's made it difficult for Milan, and they've got lucky with that big swing of the boot. That wasn't where it was intended, that pass.
It's going to be 4 minutes of added time. Manchester City in midweek made a few changes at half-time. Ederson came on. Soho came on. Doyle. Peroni scored pretty quickly afterwards. Milan likely to make some changes as well. City definitely with 18 of them available. Just a 15 for Milan. Here's Benacer. Again trying to exploit between the Manchester City centre-backs.
Wasn't quite the right pass from Benacer. There's Pulisic. Musa. Very good players to come on for Milan at some point.
I hope we get to see Pulisic. He only joined up with the squad on Thursday, so it might be a little bit too soon, but maybe he might get 5-10 minutes at the end. Forward by Doyle. Milan's contained Jack Grealish pretty well in this first half.
Yeah, he's not always been the fullback. Calabria has been good going forward. He isn't just marks Jack Grealish. The centre-half Gabby has come across at times and done a decent role in stopping him playing. It's up to Jack Grealish to have an effect on the game more. And that's coming in field to get on the ball, making runs in behind. Threatening to make runs in behind and coming short. You have to work for your space in football. Doesn't do it enough at times.
Biggest benefactor in the first half, Lorenzo Colombo. Just the 4 goals on loan at Monza last season. He's been on his travels. Cremonese, Spal, Lecce, Monza last season. Just a little reminder what he's capable of. 2 good finishes from Chukwueze deliveries. It's that ball again, looking for Salamakers. Much better this time by Sissoko.
Well, the problem for Sissoko is that at times they are a back 3, so he's got to tuck right across, so the switch of play is on. Now he's got to defend it again. Salamakers might be in here.
Yeah. Doesn't have much support. He'll have to do it himself. That might not be the worst thing that's happened, because he was able to keep possession. Support was able to arrive. Here's Salamakers again. Support this time from Terracciano. Instead goes back the way towards Tommaso Pobega. Milan can build again. 2.5 minutes into the minimum of 4 added on at the half. Dangerous header initially away. Allows Colombo to do well to find Salamakers. Chance for the left back, but Filippo Terracciano sends it over the bar.
Good position he took up, went in field on the edge of the box, on his right foot. Good first touch from him. Salamakers finding the right pass. Look how much space he's got on the edge of the box. He's then trying to bend it into that far corner.
City have got Ortega and Carson on the bench. They want to change the goalkeeper. Ederson came on in midweek for the second half for Ortega against Celtic. In the dying embers of the first half, a very good first half, very watchable first. Opening 45 minutes at Yankee Stadium in front of a very, very good crowd. Erling Haaland giving City the lead after 19. Colombo after 30 and 34. City looking to try and equalise just before the break. Oscar Bob. But they're not able to do so. And the men from Milan take a 2-1 lead into half-time. It could have been different because just 60 seconds before Lorenzo Colombo put Milan 2-1 up, Oscar Bob and Erling Haaland. Bob kept it, tried the shot, should have scored, didn't. And up the other end of the field, Milan went. Chukwueze with his second assist from the right. Colombo with his second of the night. At half-time, it's City 1, Milan 2.